AWS Elastic Beanstalk. Hello guys, today we're going to learn a new AWS cloud service which is called uh, Elastic Beanstalk. Okay, let's get started. First, let's check the documentation. Elastic Beanstalk. Alright, okay. So as per the documentation, with Elastic Beanstalk, we can quickly deploy and manage applications in the AWS cloud without having to learn about the infrastructure that runs those applications. Uh, Elastic Beanstalk reduces management complexity without restricting choice or control. We can simply upload our application, and Elastic Beanstalk automatically handle the details of capacity, provisioning, load balancing, scaling, and application health monitoring. Uh, Elastic uh, Elastic Beanstalk supports applications developed in several languages like Go, Java, .NET, Node.js, PHP, Python, and Ruby. When we deploy our application, Elastic Beanstalk builds the selected supported platform version and provision one or more AWS resources such as Amazon EC2 instances to run our application. Alright, so basically, in a nutshell, we just use this, we can use this AWS Elastic Beanstalk to deploy uh, our application, web application, or even our batch jobs. Okay, so if we want to deploy it and access our application via internet without worrying about the hardware or the application server, all this is infrastructure stuff, we can use this AWS Elastic Beanstalk. All right, so I have here Spring Boot application. This is Spring Boot application. I want to deploy this in AWS cloud. So basically, I will use this service Elastic Beanstalk. Okay, so before I deploy our application, let me test this first in our local. So yeah, so you can see the difference between the local and the cloud environment. Okay, so yeah, so here in my sample application, I have two endpoint, test one and chart. Okay, first let me access it in our browser to verify it's working. So test one. All right, so I have here the other endpoint is chart. All right, so it's working, right? So to deploy this in AWS cloud, again we will use the Elastic Beanstalk. Okay, so we can go to, first we need to log into AWS console. Okay, before we can deploy uh, our application in Elastic Beanstalk service, we need to create a EC2 role. Without this, we cannot deploy successfully. This is prerequisite. I actually have created one, but again, for the sake of those viewers who don't know how to create, I will show it to you. First, you need to go to IM service, cloud service, and click role. Okay. Then click this button, create role. Then choose AWS service. Then use case, we have to choose EC2. Okay. Then for this role, for EC2 role, we need basically three permissions only. Okay. AWS bean elastic beanstalk. So basically three permissions only. One is this one, AWS Elastic Beanstalk Web Tier. The second one is AWS Elastic Beanstalk Worker Tier. And the third one is this, AWS Elastic Beanstalk Multi-Container Docker. Alright. Yeah, that's all. That's it. Then click next button. Then the name of the role, let's say hello world EC2 role. Okay. Hello world, just remember hello world EC2 role, right? So that's it. Then create role. Alright. Then after that, then we can deploy now our web application. Then we go to Elastic Beanstalk Cloud Service. So I have an existing demo here, but okay, I will show you how to deploy from scratch. So first, create application. Let's say hello world. Then create environment. So as you can see, the name of the application is there when we create the environment. Okay, then we can leave this blank. For the platform, we are using, since it's a Spring Boot, so we need to use Java. Okay, right. Then we have our application, this one. Let's generate the jar. Okay, so the name of this project is demo timeleaf. Okay, let's close this. We don't use this anymore. So our jar is still it's finished already. So basically we should be able to see the jar here. Okay, we have the jar already. This one, demo timeleaf. So we can just upload this in our AWS basically in Elastic Beanstalk console. So we choose, so first let's go back. First we need to create the app. Then second step is to create the environment. So when we create the environment, these are the sub steps. Okay, we configure the environment, configure service access, set up the networking DB and tags, and the instance traffic and scaling. Then configure all the monitoring updates and monitoring and logging. Okay, actually we can skip all these three. These are all optional. Since this is just a demo, we will skip all the optional steps. We will just focus on the mandatory steps. Okay, so now we choose the web server because our application is a web application, so we choose this web server environment. Then application name is there already, so it's pre-populated. Okay, so after that we choose the platform Java because our application is Spring Boot. Then we upload our jar. So here we put label, let's say hello world. Then we local file to upload our jar. So the name of our application is TimeLeaf, demo TimeLeaf, right? Demo TimeLeaf, this one. So this one, demo TimeLeaf. Alright. So after uploading the jar, we just click the next button. Then we create a new for the first timer. You have to, because now the default is use an existing service role because I have existing, but for first timer you have to choose this create create and use new service role. Then you have to enter here name, let's say AWS hello world. So this is new, right? New hello world AWS. Then we have to choose, remember we created a EC2 role a while ago. You should choose that hello world EC2 role. Okay, so basically we need for this service access configuration for first timer, you have to create and use new you have to choose this option, create and use new service role. Then you have to enter here the name of the service role. Okay, then you have to specify also the EC2 instance profile where you choose the EC2 role that we created earlier. Okay, but the next time, for example, you want to deploy again, you don't need to choose this. You just simply choose this option, then select here the service role that you want to use. Okay, but for first time, let me show you how to do it to you. So we create a new service role. This is the name. Then select the EC2 role that we created earlier. Okay, then click next button. Alright, then VPC, we have to select the default. Then activate the public address, then select all. Yeah. Then the rest, all the default, we just basically we just click next button. Then the other steps are all optional, like this one. So this one we don't need to select anything. For this one we need also to, sorry about this. This is very important. This is the security group. Without creating this, without selecting this, we cannot access our application. This one I created earlier. I will show you how to create this, but for that for now, let's select this, allow 8080 port traffic. Okay, so we can access, by default we cannot access our the URL, so we can access our application, right? That's why we need to select this security group. Okay, then the rest is we just keep the default setting. Okay, then click next. Then monitoring, I think this one is we just select the default settings. You don't need to change anything. Alright, then the review page. Okay, just submit. Then this will take few minutes to deploy. Okay, so while as you can see, they will while deploying, this AWS console will show us the details, what's going on under the hood. Okay, so it's like yeah, basically here you see these are, first it creates the environment, then this one second, it creates the S3 storage also for the environment data. Then let's refresh. Then after that, okay, still launching, still in progress. So basically all details will be shown here. So now that it creates also the security group, name this one. Okay, after creating security group, it created this IP. So there's a lot of details that the AWS service will create for us, and we don't need to know such details. Okay, from our end, we just focus on our application, then deploy using their tool. Okay, so after creating the IP, okay, waiting for EC2 instance to launch. This may take few minutes. Okay, so this is the domain. Later when we access our application, we just use this URL in our browser. Okay, so instance deployment completed successfully. So I think it's done already. See, instance deployment successfully generated. Okay, but still pending. Maybe you need to refresh. We expect the status should be instead of pending, should be okay, right? So let's wait a bit. Still in progress. Yeah, I think it's okay already. So now we can access our application. Let's open this in our browser. So yeah, it's 502 gateway error. It's because we are accessing using port 80, which is not enabled. That's why we will use 8080. Okay, then our endpoint is test1. See, so now we can access using cloud. Then we have another endpoint, it's called chart. Yeah, okay, so successfully we can speaking of this port, I remember a while ago we have security group, right? I told you without using that security group you cannot access this URL, because by default is not exposed. Okay, so how to do that? Let's go to security group. So now in my configuration I use 8080, right? So you can change that whatever port you want. Okay, let me show it to you how I did that. Security group. So a while ago we selected for security group, we selected the allow 8080, right? So it's very simple actually. We just need to configure it in our inbound, this one. So this remember a while ago we selected this allow 8080 traffic. So basically we can edit this. As you can see, there is for this security group, this is the name, allow 8080 traffic. There is inbound rules and outbound rules. So we just, for example, you create your own, you just need to configure, there is a default configuration, you don't need to touch for outbound rules. But for inbound rules, you have to create a new entry, a new rule. In my case, because I want to use 8080, so let's try. Edit, let's edit it. So as you can see, I put here the port I want to use, 8080. Okay, then the type I choose custom TCP. The port range is 8080. Then the source is, this is the source IP. So I choose custom, then I choose this 000. Yeah, 0.0.0.0. This one means all IP using this port will be allowed to access our application. So yeah, that's it. You just add a rule like this. Then after adding, then of course you have to save. Then yeah, you can use this security group when you deploy. Then you will be able to access the application that we deploy. Without doing that, you cannot access. Okay, so this one is very important. Inbound rules for security group. All right, so let's check again our application. Elastic Beanstalk. So as you can see here, we have application, environments, change history, right? So we can see, if you click the application, you can see all the applications we have here. Same with the environment, you can see all the environment here. Okay, so let's go back to our application, the one we created just now, hello world. Then this one, then this one. As again, because it is secured, for this demo we only allow 8080, right? So yeah, so we have to use 8080. That's one. All right, see, so that's it, guys. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you learn again another important AWS cloud service today. I'll see you again next time. Thank you very much. Bye bye.